Muse in San Francisco, the Warp Trio, was so good. And so I had been scheduled to do a Groupmuse live in person in San Francisco March 28th, and Groupmuse switched on a dime so fast and put me on live stream on my Facebook page March 28th. And it went so well that I decided to start a series, and I called it Left Hand Lemonade, as my right hand is recovering from 4 surgeries, 7 fractures, 3+ years, almost 200 physical hand therapy appointments, but it's doing well. I'm playing a lot of 2-hand music tonight, but telling my story, resilience, and reading from my memoir that I'm writing, Left Hand Lemonade, and it's just been such an honor to share music. There's nothing I would be rather be doing during this time. So I'm so glad you're here. So we are starting, red, white, and blue, and we are starting with music by, I wrote this Amy Beach as the first American female composer. Really, she was one of the first 2 American composers, her and Edward McDowell. So Amy Beach was born in 1867 in the New England states, and she was so genius. She was like a Mozart kind of genius, that she was writing music when she was 2 years old. And she wrote it out in colors before she even understood what A minor is or G major. Her parents didn't realize till later on, till she was about 4 or so, that when she wrote in purple, that it was just like G major. When she wrote in blue, it was a certain minor key. So she had this whole code. When she grew up, she was told, now keep in mind, this is the 1860s, 1870s, when she grew up, she was told that she couldn't be a composer because women didn't compose. They certainly didn't compose large-scale works because they didn't have the emotional ability, the intellect, or the stamina to write large-scale works. Well, she showed them. She was a self-taught composer, and the way she did that, she had such an incredible ear that this is in the 1870s. She went to big premieres like Dvorak's New World Symphony and Boston Symphony Hall, and she'd hear the symphony once and go home and write it out. To teach herself counterpoint, like fugues, she wrote out for memory the 48 Bach preludes and fugues. So just an incredible talent, and wrote very large-scale works. Her piano concerto is about 45 minutes long. Her symphony or chamber music is so gorgeous, vocal music that's so beautiful. So I'm starting with a piece called Dreaming, which is from sketches, an early opus of hers, early work of hers. And I invite you to dream during this. It's beautiful, it's dreamy. It's just a great title for it. Thank you. I have done a lot of Amy Beach. I've done a lot of her large-scale works, including one of her biggest solo piano works, the Variations on Balkan Themes. And I just love her music. So I have to admit, being used to Facebook Live, Facebook Live, we do emojis for, like, we have floating hearts and floating thumbs up for applause, for silent applause. So I have to get used to not having those. This next piece is a gem. So if you join the Zoom call beforehand, you know that the composer of this piece is on with watching the streaming. Zach Goluboff Davis and I met, I want to say about 4 years ago. Our worlds collided. We actually didn't meet in the music world. We met in the dog world. My dog Gina, who's my dog agility partner. If you don't know what agility is, it's a very fun team sport where the handler, me, runs my dog through obstacle courses. It's all about time and precision and fun. And Zach is actually an agility judge. He's an AKC agility judge. And so we met at an agility trial, and then we, when I had my hand accident and had 7 fractures in my right hand, was only using my left, he said, would you like me to write a piece for you? And he's so humble. I didn't know he was just winning awards everywhere, and I looked up his music and it was so fabulous. He actually wrote a nocturne for me. At the time, I could use 8 fingers. So he wrote the world's first piece for 8 fingers as we know it to be. And that was a different nocturne that I played on the Groupmuse March 28th. Tonight, I'm playing a nocturne that he wrote. Another thing I do is I record music for dogs that relieves anxiety issues. And I have a 10-year history of that. I was an NPR, known as a pet calming maestro, left the business I was with, but coming back to a new business I'm creating called My Zen Pet. And Gina, can we show off your bandana my sister made? So this is My Zen Pet, and music is at myzenpet.com, and it's music designed for dogs to soothe them and calm them. Star is on tonight. She's on my team, and they adopted a 3-year-old dog today. So I hope Bagel's listening. If you have a dog, invite them into the room if they're not already there. So while he composes for dogs, because it's slow and it's got lots of rich bass in it. Dogs like lower frequencies calm the canine nervous system. So I've recorded a 19-minute playlist that's a lot of left hand music, because lower frequency, that's what my left hand plays, and that helps the dogs. So this piece is so beautiful. It's called Stillness of Night. Thank you so much, Zach. And he's going to be on the Zoom call after with us too, so you can ask him his questions. He actually wrote a 3rd nocturne. I will be playing that coming up too. So enjoy. Take this in, take a few deep breaths, and just enjoy the peaceful stillness of this. Thank you. So if this were a concert hall and Zach were here, he'd be coming up to the stage and taking a bow. So big applause to Zach for composing that. And I'm just going to take a little bit of a look. Great. So the comments coming in, they're a little small on my phone. So Zach, thank you. It's so beautiful. I can't wait for more. It just is so gorgeous. That's what I play. If I want to be still, that's what I play. And Gina did pretty well too, don't you think? Let us know how your dogs did at home. And I'd love to know your dog's names, personality, if you have dogs, cats. I have a cat here and enjoying the music as well. So moving on to the rest of the program is Gershwin or Gershwin arrangements. So these are 3 Gershwin etudes. So an etude is a French word for study. So a technical practice, but in this case designed to be played publicly on the stage or on YouTube Live. And these were famous Gershwin melodies that were arranged by my former Juilliard teacher, Earl Wild. He was a wonderful pianist and fabulous arranger and composer. So I'm going to be playing 3 of the 7 of them. So the first one I'm going to be playing is for 2 hands, Embraceable You. The second one is The Man I Love, which is for left hand only. And the third one is Fascinating Rhythm. And this, give me 1 second to get the music ready. You don't want to stay for the Gershwin, Gina? Okay. I'll tell you, that last one, Fascinating Rhythm, is as hard as it sounds. And it was hard for my hand before I broke it and ended up with 7 fractures. It's kind of a killer for it now. So it's a good time for a break. Just to tell you, for those of you who are new to hearing me perform, I have adopted this new attitude since during my hand healing, which has gotten me back to the piano. You know, when I went to Juilliard, we were taught you just don't walk on stage unless you're prepared to play note perfectly. It's become unimportant to me, and so I've created a new motto, which is screw perfect, just make music. If I were waiting for perfection, I wouldn't be playing. And the playing is not only healing my soul, but it's healing my hand, because it's all the stretching that's really good for my hand. So that's my motto. I do everything with now, and it allows me to just keep making music, which I so enjoy doing. So we're going to take about 5 minutes, and then we're going to be back with the closing of the program, which is a very fun arrangement of Rhapsody in Blue, and we'll see you in 5 minutes. Thank you. How's everybody doing? Zach, you're very welcome. The print is so small on the phone. That's the only comment I saw so far. But I look forward to reading all your comments later. So one of the things that I do in my Facebook Lives is I invite people to write in the comments, write your emotions. Music is all about emotions. It's all about connecting from my heart to yours. And so write down whatever you're feeling at the time, between pieces or during pieces. It's really what music is all about. So this is kind of my own arrangement of Rhapsody in Blue. So Rhapsody in Blue is written, it's based on the arrangement for piano and orchestra. So there's 3. There's piano and band, there's piano and orchestra, and then there's a solo version. Gershwin wrote all of those. And I've played this with orchestra many times. And this is mostly the solo piano part. I play some of the orchestra part along with it when I can. I play some of it. Very oftentimes in the Rhapsody it goes like piano, orchestra, piano, orchestra. There is one place where you're going to be missing the melody, and if you know this tune, you're home, you're alone, or you're with family, and go ahead, sing along, it's fine. And there's just one short section that's missing the melody, and then I do skip around a bit. There are certain parts my hand just can't handle, and there's certain parts that just don't work alone. So it's my own kind of condensed version of Rhapsody in Blue. It's very fun. And then I look forward to meeting you in the Zoom room afterwards. So enjoy Rhapsody in Blue. hope you enjoyed my arrangement of Rhapsody in Blue. It's so fun. It's just something I never tire of. And it's something I really worked hard at getting my right hand back to play this. And I used to do less of it, and then gradually as my hand healed and recovered, I could do more and more of it. And it's so fun. It's like, I hope you enjoyed it. So we are we ready to go to Zoom? Kyle and Ed's here, and Star and Zach. Great. So I left my Zoom channel open, and so I am going to join you there. And if you could give me 1 minute, maybe 90 seconds, to go get something to drink, I will meet you in the Zoom room. It's been such a pleasure. This is my second live stream Groupmuse, but I think it's my 9th that I've performed. So I wrote a blog called Groupmuse before the pandemic. Groupmuse, I think I wrote in January, called Groupmuse is the best thing that ever happened to classical music. And I really do believe that. My whole mission in life, my whole mission is about demystifying classical music and making it for everyone. And that's really coincides with Groupmuse, that just opened the door, and it's for everyone. Doesn't need to be this mysterious thing. I've actually teach a class that I'm putting online called Demystifying Classical Music. And I think Star may have told you, if you join my mailing list at lisaspector.com, I have a free unlisted private video you'll get of an intro to that. So I will see you on Zoom in 90 seconds. Thanks.